In less than a week's time, I will be heading back to Disneyland Paris. So today I'm going to do a video breaking down how much my trip cost to help you see the kind of prices you might pay for a trip to Disneyland Paris, especially if you're a solo traveller. With a solo trip to Disneyland Paris, the only thing that is really impacted in price is the hotel room. Everything else is the same whether you're going on your own or with other people. So in this video, I will break down how much hotels, flights, transportation, food, and even souvenirs will cost you. My name is Sophie from Most Magical Guides, and I make content all about Disneyland Paris and Walt Disney World and how to plan your ultimate trips. So if that's something you are interested, make sure that you click the subscribe button and the little bell notification. So let's dive in. So for this trip, I'm going to be doing a 5-day, 4-night trip as my last trip, same exact thing. This time I'm going to be staying at the Hotel Santa Fe. This is a value resort at Disneyland Paris. It's actually the cheapest one you can stay in. And I did that because as a solo traveller, it was like a really good, affordable option. Something I really like about staying at a Disneyland Paris hotel is that your park tickets are included, which is such a big bonus. It is cheaper to stay off-site, but you do have to then factor in the cost of paying for your park tickets on top of your hotel room. So staying at the Hotel Santa Fe for 4 nights with 5 days of park tickets has cost me £496. So I think for just less than £100 a day for the whole trip, it's a pretty good price. I booked directly with Disney, and one of the reasons that I like this is that you can pay a really cheap deposit. So I paid £73 and then I didn't have to pay anything else up until 8 weeks before I went. But another great option is that you can pay in instalments, or you can just do it in dribs and drabs whenever you have the money via the website, which is absolutely perfect. Disney at the moment are also letting you cancel for free up to 7 days before your trip, and with so much uncertainty around travel at the moment, that is such a big bonus to me. And that's one of the big reasons that I book with Disney. Booking with Disney, you can also add extras onto your trip. And I have added the magical shuttle, which takes you from the airport to your hotel. It costs about £21 each way, so £42 in total. It's super convenient. So I've done that again this trip for £42. You can purchase the magical shuttle from its own website or via your Disney booking. I've done it with my Disney booking because if I needed to postpone or cancel my trip, it would then be a package and I could do that. So I liked the safety of that. The other option I considered is the high-speed train from Charles de Gaulle Airport to Disneyland Paris, 10 minutes. Amazing. The high-speed train costs between around 15 to 35 euro depending on what time train you catch. One of the reasons that I didn't go for that is because there were large gaps in between the times of trains, and also if your flight got delayed, you wouldn't know exactly what train you were getting on. So the difference between a 15 euro train and a 36 euro train is quite a lot. So one of the reasons I picked the magical shuttle is because it is regular times and you also know exactly what you're paying. For this trip, I'm going to be flying again. I am going from London Gatwick to Charles de Gaulle Airport via EasyJet. My flights this time were quite a lot more than my November trip. This time it was £139, but that does include an upgrade to the front of the plane. And I did this because you also get a cabin bag included in the price, and when you're sat at the front of the plane you can get off really quick, so you can get to the magical shuttle really fast, get to Disney quick. But if you didn't want to upgrade, you could get it a lot cheaper, so that is just an option if you're wanting to be able to get on and off the plane quickly and have a bag included in the price. If you were looking for a hold bag, so one that's slightly larger and goes underneath the plane, that costs around £25 each way. I've gone with just the cabin baggage luggage option. Last time it was perfect for me. I fitted everything in that I needed and still had room for the all-important merchandise that I was going to buy. So it was absolutely perfect and saved me some money. Because I'm getting a super early flight, I'm going to be staying at an airport hotel the day before. I'm going back to the Premier Inn at Gatwick. It is literally opposite the terminal. You couldn't get any closer. It is perfect. My room cost me £54. It would have actually been £20 cheaper if I bought the non-flexible option, but with all of the uncertainty at the moment with travel, I wanted to have the option where I could cancel on the day if I needed to. So that was an extra £20. I booked via Expedia.com. This was a really handy way to do it because I didn't have to pay anything up front. I just pay when I get to the hotel. If you book via Premier Inn, you just pay at the time, which I've done before and is absolutely fine. And when I've had bookings that did need to be cancelled, they do refund you really quickly, so it's absolutely fine. But this time I just went with Expedia.com. I'm also parking at Gatwick. I'm using APH, which are a company I hadn't really heard much about, but my last time I decided to book with them because they had a really good price and great reviews, and I loved it. It was a super simple system. You just drive your car up, let them know, they take your car and park it for you, and then they'd get you on a little bus to the airport, and on the way back, exact same process, super quick, really speedy, and it cost me £36. And that is actually for 6 days, because I'm going to drive up the day before to stay at the airport hotel. So the total for my hotel, park tickets and all of the transportation is £766. Now, depending on what time of year you go, prices will fluctuate. So for example, my trip in November, which was identical, was £161 cheaper. Visiting in March, the price is a bit higher because of the time of year, and also the 30th anniversary celebrations have just started, which I'm super excited to experience. But even though it is more expensive, it's still pretty good price considering for your hotel and the park tickets, it's less than £100 a day. And then other elements like my flight and the airport hotel, I paid slightly more for because I wanted the cabin bag option and the chance to cancel my hotel room if I needed to. So the same trip in November cost just over £600, but in March it is £766. It's also worth mentioning that my November 2021 trip was actually booked whilst Disneyland Paris was still shut and there was no international travel allowed, so that did bring the prices down for me. I also got upgraded to the Hotel Cheyenne because when I booked, they still didn't have an opening date for the Hotel Santa Fe, so they did give me a free upgrade. As a solo traveller, the only element that is impacted is really your hotel room. You do pay slightly more to be a solo traveller. If there were 2 or 4 people in the room, that cost would come down somewhat. I tend to visit Disney in the off season, so when it is kind of winter or autumn and the kids are in school, there's no public holidays, stuff like that. So I've always managed to do Disney cheaply. In fact, this current trip is the most expensive I've ever paid. So £766 is the most expensive I've paid for everything. I did look at going in January and the prices were a lot cheaper. So it is good to look around at different times of the year that you can visit to get the best prices. So a big part of your trip will be food. I've actually budgeted around €50 a day, and that will be for a lunch and a dinner. I take my own breakfast with me. I just take some cereal bars. It's a really great option because they're really small to put in your bag and it's really cheap. Quick service meals at Disneyland Paris cost between €11 to €15, and table service options, if you have a set menu, are about €30 for 2 courses and €40 for 3 courses. If you go to a buffet, that tends to be around €36. If you go to places like Disney Village, Planet Hollywood, options are around €16 to €20. In the parks, they are a bit more expensive, but these are kind of the rough costs that you will pay for food in Disneyland Paris. Something else I do is I buy drinks from the train station. Inside there is a little convenience store where they have snacks, drinks, maybe anything you've forgotten that you need, like deodorant, toothpaste, stuff like that. And I budgeted about €5 a day for drinks. A bottle of water is around about €2.50, but they are large bottles of water. So that is what I would take into the park each day. I would get off the little bus, or when you were walking, just pop into the little convenience store before going through bag check, and you're set for the day. So as I've budgeted around €50 a day for food, that works out about £200, and that includes 2 meals a day and all of drinks, snacks, stuff like that. How much you will spend on souvenirs is kind of like how long is a piece of string. It all depends on what type of person you are. You might just want to go home with a little magnet as a memento, or if you're like me, you have to rein it in because you want to buy literally everything. As a rough idea, Disney ears tend to be around €25, t-shirts are around €20 to €25, sweatshirts are around €45, and these are the sort of costs you will pay for the souvenirs that a lot of people buy. Something that was handy is because I was only taking cabin baggage, I had to rein in what I was spending because I didn't have enough space to fit things in. So that is a really good way to put yourself on a budget if you are like me and you want to buy literally everything. Up until recently, you also had to pay for testing to get into France, and then as of last year, you also had to pay for testing to get back into the UK. This is all scrapped now, so that really helps cut down on the costs because you don't have to pay for any testing. So for my previous trips to Disneyland Paris, I've paid typically between £500 to £600 for a 4-night, 5-day experience, and that includes your transportation, your hotel and park tickets. This trip is slightly more expensive because of the 30th anniversary celebrations, and as a solo traveller you do pay a little bit more for your hotel room. I hope you have found this video helpful in getting a rough idea of how much things will cost you at Disneyland Paris and how to price up your trip. If you'd like to know anything else about planning your own trips to Disneyland Paris, let me know in the comments down below and I'll make a video all about that for you. It's just under a week until my next trip to Disneyland Paris now, so make sure you smash the subscribe button so you can see my latest Disneyland Paris vlog series, which will be starting very, very soon. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it has been helpful, and until next time, I hope you have a most magical day. Bye bye.